Greetings from CMCS Health and Medicare Private Limited. A successful allogenic bone marrow transplant for aplastic anemia for an Afghanistan national in India. The name trusted by over 1000 guests from all across the world for their specialized treatment in India. CMCS Health. You can send your medical queries to us on our WhatsApp, IMO, Viber or Telegram number, that is +91 9971 986258. Mr. Ezzat from Afghanistan visited India to confirm his diagnosis of aplastic anemia. We performed all of his medical tests under the guidance of Dr. Pawan Kumar Singh, hematologist and bone marrow transplant specialist at Artemis Hospital. Mr. Ezzat's diagnosis was confirmed as aplastic anemia and was advised for an allogenic bone marrow transplant. We received HLA samples from the two brothers and one sister of Mr. Ezzat from Afghanistan and sent those samples to the labs for HLA match. Mr. Niamat, who is Ezzat's younger brother, had a 100% HLA match with him. We sent a medical visa assistance letter from Artemis Hospital for Mr. Ezzat and Mr. Niamat for coming to India. Mr. Ezzat and Mr. Niamat were received at the IGI Airport, New Delhi by CMCS Health team and were brought to Artemis Hospital, Gurgaon for the commencement of the medical treatment of Mr. Ezzat. Both Mr. Ezzat and Mr. Niamat were consulted by Dr. Pawan Kumar Singh and were advised for some further investigations before the bone marrow transplant. Both Mr. Ezzat and Mr. Niamat were briefed about the procedure and an estimated cost was given to them. CMCS Health is your healthcare consultant from India. Mr. Ezzat was admitted to the BMT intensive care unit for chemotherapy aimed at depletion of damaged bone marrow. Healthy stem cells were collected from his brother, Mr. Niamat, and were administered intravenously to Mr. Ezzat. Mr. Ezzat responded well to the stem cell transplant from his donor brother and was under 24/7 monitoring in the BMT intensive care unit. Mr. Ezzat being discharged from the bone marrow transplant unit after a successful allogenic bone marrow transplant for aplastic anemia. At CMCS Health, we deliver cure from sickness and smiles on ailing faces. Send all your queries about allogenic bone marrow transplant in India for aplastic anemia to us. CMCS Health is your healthcare consultant from India. Send your medical queries to us on our WhatsApp, IMO, Viber, or Telegram number, that is +91 9971 986258.